How we doing, Cowboys? It's Mr. Lincoln again, coming to you with more PowerPoint knowledge. Today we are going to be working on Chapter 20, which talks about animating objects. Animating objects is something similar to what we did last time, which was transitions. Transitions are when you take the slide and we go from one slide to the next. You're changing, the screen to make it more interesting for the person to know that there's something new coming up. One of the problems that you're going to have if you're a presenter is that people's attention is going to come and go. Okay, some people will have some other things that they're thinking about. Some people are going to have their phone on vibrate and it's going to go off in their pockets. Some people are just going to start doing this and staring at the ceiling because it's boring and they're just bored. But some of the things that you can do to make your PowerPoint more interesting is to create some movement on the screen so that there's always something visually appealing for people's eyes to focus in on. Just like you're doing with my hands right now. It's like you keep seeing that happen and you focus on my hands. You're going to do the exact same thing with your PowerPoint, basically. You're going to make it interesting visually so that it refocuses people's attention back on the PowerPoint. Okay? So, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to go to our books and we're going to turn to page 995 in the book. Yes, we are almost 1,000 pages into this. Okay? You're also going to go to the Google Classroom. If you haven't done so, pause the video right now and go get your P20 Try file out of the assignment. Download it. Open it up in Google Slides if you must. Okay, remember the way to do Google Slides. You go to File and you go to Open. Okay, and then you can, when you download the file to your desktop, you can go ahead and do an upload where you just take the file from your desktop and you drag it into here, or you can go ahead and look into some folder or something like that, previously selected or start or something. Okay, you can look into a bunch of these places, but mostly it's like you can just save it to your desktop from the Google Classroom and then drop it in to your file right here, or you can select a file from your device. Go ahead and look up in your desktop or your downloads or something like that. You can find what you need. Okay, so get the P20 Try and get it up and going here. Alright, now, like I said, animations is like transitions. It's a visual effect, but this time instead of just the whole slide, it's just for particular words or sentences or something like that. So if you go down the list here, you got home, you got insert, design, transitions, animations. Here we are. Now, as you can see, everything is grayed out because it doesn't know what you want to animate. So go ahead and click on something. Let's click on the title of slide 1, The Power of Giving. Okay? Now, there are 4 different types of animations. We'll go over them right now. If you click in the animations you see right here, now that you've clicked on something, you can actually see the things. Okay? And you get the drop-down menu right there. You can see that there are 4 different things, 3 of them color-coded and 1 of them is just lines. The first one, the green ones, are entrance effects. These are effects that cause the words to go from not being visible to being visible. Okay? An emphasis effect is where you have words on the screen and you get them to dance. Okay? And then they go back to still being seen on the screen. That's just an attention getter. Emphasis is an attention-getting thing for something that's already there. And then finally you have the red ones, which are exit. Exits are just basically like you have something on the screen and you fade it out and it goes away. Okay? That leaves you with the words leaving the screen leaves you with space. And you might be saying to yourself, sir, isn't the point of a PowerPoint to have information shown on screen so that people can read it while you're talking about it? Yes, that is true. But sometimes you might actually want to get rid of some of the words on the screen so that you can do something with that space. For example, I had a PowerPoint that I needed to do when I was in college, and the teacher limited me to 5 slides. Okay? And I had about 7 slides worth of information. I just honestly could not pare it down any further without losing some of the important stuff from that lesson. And so here's what I did. I had slides which were 2 content slides, and one would have a picture and one would have information. And the picture was very explanatory. It explained a lot about what was going on with the information. And I couldn't get rid of either one. And I also couldn't do 7 slides. So here's what I did. I would have one slide with a picture and the information, and then I would have them fade, and then I would have them come up with new information. Picture over here, slides information over here. So it's kind of like I cheated a little bit. But it was kind of cool, and it's like the teacher didn't mind the fact that I was being creative like that. And it got me the space that I needed to complete the assignment. So occasionally, sometimes you will want to use the exits to make room for something to be shown afterwards without going to a new slide. The fourth one is basically motion paths, and the book has you on page 995, step 3 and 4. It has you click on this title bar and then select the motion path for lines. Okay? And lines is very simple. All it does so far is to just do that. Now you can see that there's a green spot right here. If you look closely, there's a little green spot. Okay, and that is where the animation starts. And this is the red spot where the animation will end. Now, normally when you're doing motion paths, and I'm not going to get too much into this. Normally when you're doing motion paths, you are going to take the starting point of the slide and you're going to move it. Okay? You're going to take it and move it off of the screen. I held down Control and I scrolled until I could see some of that gray outside the box area. Most of the time with these animations, you're going to take stuff from outside and you're going to move them into the picture. And it gives you a little visual demonstration of what it's going to look like. And when you preview it with the preview button here, you can see that it comes into the slide just like that. Okay? And honestly, what's going to happen is it's going to be something more like this. It's like the slide is going to be basically the entire screen. Okay? So, like for example, that's what you're going to see on screen. Okay? So that's a motion effect. Okay? Now, the motion effects, it's kind of technical and it's more high level stuff for people who know what they're doing. For the most part, you though are going to be sticking to something easier. Okay, and if that was confusing, or if you're using Google Slides, that is not a thing on Google Slides. Don't even bother trying to figure it out. We're going to go to the next part, which is step 6. And we're going to go to slide 2. This is where my Google Slides people need to pay attention. Okay, on slide 2, click the content placeholder. That's this part right here. Okay, content placeholder is this part. This is the title. This is the content placeholder. Title, content placeholder. Okay, click on the content placeholder, and we're going to do an animation called Fly In. It is a green animation. Okay, it's really easy to find up here. You don't even have to do the drop-down menu because it's one of the first ones on the list. You go Fly In, and it does something like that. Okay, that means it's going to fly in. Now, I want you to notice something. Which direction did they come from? They came from the bottom, and they moved up. That is not the only thing that they can do. There are also, just like with transitions, different effect options. Okay? Different effect options. Now, what you can do is you can change the direction that they go to. We'll get to that in a second. First off, let's take the title. Okay? And we're going to go ahead and do float in on this one. Float in is right next to fly in. Pretty simple, pretty easy stuff. Google Slides people, very simple and easy. Click on that. Here's what you guys have to do. Google Slides people, pay attention right now because your instructions are a little bit different. First off, okay, you don't have a tab for animations. Okay, what you do have though, when you click on this content area, you're going to get a little option over here to the side called Animate. Click it, and you'll get a sidebar of possible things that can be done. Okay, now when you click this, you'll get the box, and sometimes it'll give you an animation, sometimes it won't. But if you don't have anything animated yet, you say Add Animation. Okay, and it's going to give you a little thing of like what it's going to be animating. This looks like the first step that says Many. See right here, Many with a little dot. That's giving you a little screenshot of what's going to be changing. Okay, and it says Fade In on click is what it's going to do. For you, you need to click on this box that says Fade In, and you need to say Fly In from bottom. Okay, and you can preview with play. Okay, there you go. Now, currently, you can also select by paragraph, and that means line by line. Strangely enough, I know. I thought that by paragraph meant everything was going to come up at once. No, by paragraph means each line of the bullet points separately. Okay? So, flying from bottom on click by paragraph, clicking the checkbox for by paragraph. All right, now that is what you need to do a basic animation such as flying from the bottom. Okay? Now, as far as your title, similarly, you click up in the top, you're going to add animation. It's going to say help because that's the first word of the title. And then you're going to fade in. Okay? Go ahead and fade in. Okay? And you don't need to do by paragraph because there's only one line in there. Okay? And you can see that the same thing basically happens. Line, 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 and then fading in the title. Okay? Pretty simple and pretty easy stuff for both slideshows. Okay, now on to page 996. Flip the page in the book if you are working from the book. Okay, now go to placeholder in slide 2. That's these guys right here. Okay. Once again, the effect options. Okay, we don't want them to all go from the up. Let's make them go from the left instead. Boop, boop, boop. Quick and easy. Google Slides, people, similar thing. Click on the slide that you're looking at. You'll get the drop-down menu for that slide stuff. Instead of flying in from the bottom, we're going to fly in from the left. Play it. And we see that they do from the left. Okay, simple and easy stuff. Okay. All right, now, sometimes you might accidentally click in, like on something like this, okay, and that might make everything come up at once. Okay. If that's the case, then you go to the effect options again, and you can choose to have it go as one object all at once, or by paragraph. And once again, by paragraph means bullet point by bullet point by bullet point. Okay? All right. Now, we're not going to bother with changing the title because it means whatever. Okay. Now to page 997. Real quick, changing the order. Obviously, you don't want to put out the information and then come up with the title. Usually, you want to say, here's the title, here's what we're going to be talking about, point, point, point. Okay? So, this is much easier to accomplish with the animation pane open, with your PowerPoint people. So, PowerPoint people, find this thing called animation pane. This animation pane is a sidebar that basically tells you all of the things that are happening with your animations. Click on the drop-down box, and you can see there's step 1, step 2, and step 3. Okay? Now, I did not float that sucker in, did I? Alright, now you got rectangle 1 here, which is your title. That is the last thing that happens. That's not what you want to have happen last, is it? So use these up and down arrows here. Click on what used to be number 4 down here, rectangle 1. And then press the up button until it is at the top of the list. And now when you play it, now you get the title and then all of the animation buttons. For you slides people, okay, what you're going to do is you've got these two here. Okay, you've got the fly in with the words, and you've got the fade in for the title, and you've got this bar here of dots. You got 6 dots and 6 dots. Click and grab on the 6 dots fade in option, move it up. Okay, pull it up until it goes into the right place. Okay, now you also, when you get it, your title comes in, and now your points pop in. Okay? So just grab here on the side, change the order as necessary. Okay? Super simple and easy stuff right there also. Okay, that's how you change the order of what gets animated. And there's an up button and a down button, so it's like you can do both of them at the same time. Technically speaking, in your PowerPoint, you can also click and drag stuff. Okay, you have a line, and the line is basically which animations it's going to be in between whenever you drop it. Okay, all right. Start and timing options for PowerPoint. Start and timing options are pretty easy. What you do is you click on one of the ones that you want to start, and you have choices. Okay, click up here where it says Start. It's got a little green arrow. And right now it says on click. That means that you will have to click the button or press the space bar to get the animation to go off. You can select with previous, which means, hey, whatever animation was before this, go at the same time as that one. Now, if you're doing with previous on the first one, basically it means as soon as the transition is done, do this animation. So if I take rectangle 1 and I do with previous, that means that just as soon as the transition is complete, that animation is going to happen. Okay? Now notice also that it went from 1 to 0 because it is not the first thing that needs a click. It also lost its little mouse icon. Okay? These little mouse icons mean that these things are going off on clicks. If you don't have a little mouse icon, that means it happens automatically. All right? There is also after previous, which basically means that it automatically goes just as soon as the last animation is done. Okay? Now, just like transitions, animations have durations. You can increase or decrease the amount of time that it takes for the animation to complete. Okay? And there's also delay. Delay says you could start right now, or you could wait 5 seconds and then do the thing that you're wanting to do. Sometimes you're going to have visual effects. I've done this a lot with my presentation. Sometimes you have visual effects where you have things that happen and the timing of it needs to go off perfectly so that you can actually have the video sync up with things that are happening on with the words. Okay, I had one time I had a screen that was made to look like one of those flipping bad TV screens where it's like the 3 or 4 white lines would go up, zit zit zit, and it honestly looked like it was a screen that was on the fritz. It was bad, and I had to animate that with durations and delays to get them to go up and down the screen at the right time. Okay, complicated stuff, but once you get more comfortable with it, you can use durations and delays to make things happen at just the right time. Okay. So that is when to animate start and when to animate stop and changes and things like that. And we're not going to do what the book says because it's not really necessary. One thing that I will caution you on, though, if you choose to do some of the things that are longer, for example, bounce. Bounce is an incredibly long and boring effect, and you don't want that. So I would recommend definitely cranking the duration down on those things to make sure that they don't take forever to get those things done. Okay, so we're just going to go back to fly in, and we're going to go back to from left. Okay, if you want to change that in accordance with what the book says, you can do it. I'm just going to move on. Okay, all right. Now, this is great. This is fine. This works great and fine and lasts a long time. But do you want to keep doing this for every single slide on the slideshow? The answer, of course, is no. I do not need to do that over and over and over again. Okay? Fortunately for you, there is this handy Dan button right here. Okay? Click on something that you like the animation of. Click on the thing that says Animation Painter. Okay? You click on that. You go to a different slide. And then you paint. You just click on something that you want to have the same effect. Okay? So do what I did. Go to slide 2. Click in the content area. Click on Animation Painter. Click over here into slide 3. You may have to click twice. Sometimes it's weird. And then click on the area here, the content area here on slide 3, and you will get the exact same animations painted into the 3 things on slide 3. It does the exact same things now. The book says to do it to slide 4. You can do it to slide 3. You can do it to slide 4. It makes no difference to me. Okay? All right, now, if you double-click on the Animation Painter, if you click on something and you double-click on the Animation Painter, you can go to multiple. You can go to multiple ones. Okay, you can go to multiple slides and click. Notice that the little paintbrush icon is still there, even though I've done it twice. And you want to get out of this now? You're done. You've done all the things you want to do. You can go ahead and click on the Escape key. Okay, and it pops you out of doing that stuff anymore. Okay, all right. Now, same thing happens with charts, pictures, things like that. Okay, it doesn't have to be the words. You can actually animate the pictures. Go down to slide 7. Click on the picture. Give me a wipe. Okay, works fine. Lasts a long time. Okay, now try this. Instead of doing a wipe, give me a spin. Ooh, fancy. Okay, you can do the same thing in Google Slides. Go down to slide 7. Go to this picture. Go to Add Animation. And give me a spin from the drop-down list here. Click Spin. You might not be able to see that too well. Okay? Click on Spin. It's down here at the bottom of the list. Okay? You play it. Woo! Cool. All right. Now, you people in Google Slides, you do have a bar down here for each of the animations that you do, which controls how long it goes. Okay. But as far as I know, there is not a delay. Okay. All of these things will happen on when they get the clicking happening. Or you also have the after previous and with previous that you did in your PowerPoint version. Okay, you do have after previous and with previous as well, but there is timings, but there is no delay. So you just you have a very basic version of it. Okay, you can do like a 4-second slow play. Whoa. Okay, so slower means it's taking longer. Okay. Faster means it's taking less time. Notice you also get that little black box that tells you exactly how much time the animation is going to happen. Okay? All right. Now, a quick note. If you're in Slides, if you want to change something, okay, you can just click on the bar and choose a different thing. Okay? But if you want to take the same thing and do another animation to it, you do have to click on Add Animation again. And then it'll give you another one, and then you can do something else with that one. Okay? Every time you want to add a new animation to a different thing or to the same thing, okay, you have to click on this Add Animation button on your slides. With PowerPoint, it's a little different. Okay? PowerPoint, there's this button right here that says Add Animation, and it gives you the exact same set of circumstances. Okay? It's got a little drop-down menu of all the things that you can do. Okay? This is a thing that a lot of people get confused on because they'll have this animation. They'll have a slide or something like that, and they'll have the animation, and they'll be like, all right, I'm going to fly it in, okay, and then I'm going to make it teeter-totter. And they go back to this same menu, and they select the next effect. But notice up here, there's only one effect. There is only one effect that goes on here, okay? Oh, by the way, this is the up and down arrows used to do the slides. That might have been that might have been hidden last time. My bad. Okay, you can see that there's up and down arrows to move the little animations into the right order. That's how you change the orders with these up and down arrows here. Okay, but let's go back to slide 7. Notice now it's the yellow one instead of a green entrance effect. It's now a yellow one. Okay. You do not have 2 effects now. You have 1 effect, and it's the teeter effect. Okay, so if you want to fly in, and then you want to teeter, you have to go to Add Animation, and put in that second animation, and now you've got 2 things that happen. Okay. Now, one thing that's pretty cool that I've seen over the years, that I've done actually, is I've taken animations, and I have doubled them up by using with previous, and I basically had them happen at the same time. Okay, so it's like I have something that is flying in and spinning simultaneously. Okay, watch. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. How about spin? Spin is definitely more visible. Okay, and we're going to crank the duration down on that one to 1.0. Alright, so play. Woo! That's pretty neat. Okay, that's 2 things with previous at the same time. Okay, on the same object. All right, so that is how you do that kind. Oh, and I'm not exactly sure. You can do with previous on your animations in Google Play. Okay, see, you got the same kind of thing that you can do there. The assignment that we are going to do for this thing, we are not going to use the standard issue book assignment. There is a Word document. Go find it. It's called PowerPoint Lab 2 or P20 Lab. Okay. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to create one slide. The first slide is going to be a title slide. It's going to have fun with animations as the title, and the subtitle is going to be moving and shaking in PowerPoint. The second one is going to be create a slide in the title and content layout. Okay, there's going to be 4 lines. The title says who did this project, and the 4 lines are going to be your name, your class, your teacher, and the date. Okay, when I say your class, I mean BIM. So your name, BIM, my name, and the date. And then you're going to use fly in, and you're going to fly them in from the left, the right, from the top, from the bottom, or whatever, you know, whatever situation you want to accomplish. Okay, you can do it in any order that you want. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Go ahead and do that presentation. Okay, so first slide, title slide. Fun with animations is the title. Moving and shaking in PowerPoint. Okay, that's the subtitle. And then 4 lines. Your name, your class, your teacher, and the date. And it's going to fly in. Your name, your class, the teacher, your date. You know, that's what you're going to do. Okay, pretty simple and pretty easy stuff. Can be done on PowerPoint, can be done on slides, can probably easily be done on slides on the phone or PowerPoint on the phone or something like that. It's a super easy assignment. You should have no problems with it. Okay? All right, get it done. Turn it into your Google Classroom. Be sure to hit the submit button, making sure that you submit your work, and that will give me a notification that it's done. This is, of course, as always, due Saturday at midnight. You do have Easter Sunday off, and you have Easter Friday off from school. You have Easter Monday off from school. So I would appreciate if you guys got this done in a reasonable time and give me some vacation time too. All right, so go ahead and get that done. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.